In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to calculate your property tax bill if you live in Tarrant County. My name is Chandler Crouch. I do two different things. I help people stay in their house by reducing their housing expenses, and I have an arsenal of tools to help with that. I obviously help with property taxes, insurance, electricity bills, finance, your mortgage payment. I just believe that you shouldn't have to leave your house because of rising housing costs, getting forced out of your house. It's wrong, and I want to do what I can to help. Reach out to me, and I can help you save a ton of money. The second thing is, when it is time for you to move and you decide on your own that you want to leave, my team of expert realtors will help you sell for top dollar or achieve your real estate goals at the highest level, whether it's selling for top dollar or whether it's selling as is quickly or making it a completely hassle-free process. Nobody is better, and we want to help you. All right, let me show you this. Go to tarranttaxinfo.com / actually just tarranttaxinfo.com. It'll just forward you here. Put your address in here. I'm using this address because this is my old house, and it's plastered all over the internet. So now a company has it. So here's what you've got. Now, I'm going to do everything I can to try and explain this in the simplest possible terms I can. But it's confusing and there's no way around it. Okay, so this is last year right here. And so right here, these are the tax, the second line on each one of these are the tax rates. And this is the actual tax amount that you're paying. And each one of these is associated with a different tax entity. So the city of Fort Worth last year collected $1,082 on this property. Northwest ISD, it was that amount. There you go. So that's last year, and those were last year's tax rates. Now, this year, they've proposed these values, but you can see that there are a couple holes here, and the reason is because these entities have not reported on these values. But if you're lucky enough to see proposed taxes for 2021 right here, then those should be the new values. If you got holes here, what you need to know is all they're doing is they're carrying over last year's tax rate and they're sticking it on this year. And so if they pass a new tax rate, then it could be a completely different number than this, and this number could change. Here's what was paid last year. Here's what is paid this year. The reason that number's gone up is because the value of the house went up, and that's the only reason, because as you can see, all these tax rates are exactly the same except for this one. This one actually went down a little bit, but see, the value went up. There are a number of things that can go into this, but that's what I want to show you. This is the main thing. This is the simple way to look at it. Let me show you another way to do it. Actually, let me show you one more thing on this page. If you go to, okay, so this is a different account right here, and I just wanted to point out all these blue numbers are numbers that were capped out because this person has an over 65 exemption. So if you look up your address on tarranttaxinfo.com and you see these blue numbers, those are the entities that have a property tax ceiling or a freeze. It's really not a freeze, it's a ceiling, because as you can see, this one, you would think that this one would be blue. The reason it's not blue is because it went down and it wasn't affected by the tax ceiling. It's actually not a freeze, it's a ceiling. So this is the ceiling right here, and it actually went down. And the reason why it went down is because the exemptions changed in the city of Keller. So that's what happened there. Let me show you a couple more things. If you want to see if your city has a cap, let me just show you this. Google property tax rates, Tarrant County, just like that. And then actually on the Appraisal District website, you can click that link and then go down here and you'll see all the tax rates. This chart doesn't get any less complicated, but I just wanted to show you because nobody else is going to show you this. And for those of you whose brain hasn't already turned to mush because there's just too many numbers, then you might appreciate this. If your brain's turned to mush already, just plug your ears for a second. All right, so you've got the city of Bedford has a tax ceiling. The city of Benbrook has a tax ceiling, but the city of Azle does not have a tax ceiling, okay? So you have to just look here. If you're reaching your silver years, then you might want to just pick a town that has a tax ceiling on it. And if you scroll down here, then you'll see all the school district information is exactly the same, because this is mandated by the state, but those cities have different options there. So let me move on. I'm going to show you one more way you can calculate this, because this is the old trusty way. and you can start to plug in different numbers and run what if scenarios and that sort of thing. You just look up your property here, click that little blue button, and I'm going to scroll down and try and decode some of this and take some of this confusing stuff and make it simpler and easier to understand. So I could give you an overview of what's going on this page, but I've got that in other videos. So the only thing I'm going to explain are these two numbers right here. Okay. So these numbers are going to be exactly the same unless you have a homestead exemption filed on the property and your value has been increasing exorbitantly year after year after year. Then if the value of your house increases more than 10%, then your homestead exemption will get triggered and provide some protection for you, and it will cap out that growth on the taxable value at 10% per year. So as you can see, this year in 2018, it was 155. Well, the next year it went up to 181. That exceeds 10% growth in 1 year. So the homestead exemption capped out the taxable value at a 10% growth. And that's where this 170 number comes from. And so every year now that appraised value is going to rise a maximum of 10% until those numbers get to be equal again, which is exactly what happened this year. I sold this property to this real estate investment group. So after the it just happened this year, so it still shows the homestead exemption. Watch next year, that homestead exemption is going to fall off, and then those numbers will be even for the foreseeable future because nobody's living in the house in order to get that homestead exemption. Anyway, that was just a slight tangent because you're going to need this number right here. They should call this the homestead capped value. They used the wrong word. It has nothing to do with an appraisal whatsoever. It has everything to do with homestead capped value. All right, click that button right there. A new link opens. It automatically populates this. I want you to click the tax estimator. You can see all sorts of cool stuff on this page. Look at prior years. You can look at your statement. All sorts of stuff, but click the tax estimator and you're taken to this page. Now, from this page, what you're going to have to do is use your appraisal district details page as your cheat sheet. So come back, scroll up. These are the taxing entities that are collecting tax on your house. Okay, so sometimes these the tax entity names are phrased differently. So you want to go by the number here. Excuse me, that pop-up got in the way. 026. That's what you were going to look for. So 026 is obviously not City of Arlington. We're looking for 026, and boom, City of Fort Worth. But you see how it's not City of Fort Worth, it's Fort Worth City, and it's abbreviated. Go by the number and you're good. It's not Aledo ISD. It is going to be it's 911. We got an emergency, Northwest ID. There you go. And there is no special taxing unit. You don't have a special taxing unit unless you absolutely know you do. And if you have one, I guarantee you'll know it because you're paying extra in property tax. So let's see here. You've got Tarrant County, City of Fort Worth. We got the county hospital and county college, 224, 225. 224, 225. There is no water district on this property, and that's it. So let's just say the value of this one is, we're going to put this number in here that we talked about earlier, 197,436. 197,436. And we're going to put homestead on there and click submit. There you go. So 464703. Let's see how that matches up with this. I already switched pages. Give me a second. All right, so 46474. All right, so almost to the penny. The only reason why it's any different is because some of these rates are being calculated on last year's rates versus this year's rates. Not all of them have been adopted. They've been proposed. But if they exceed the level that is allowed by law, then it has to go to a vote. And so there are a couple more things in the mix, but that gets you pretty darn close so you can start to establish your budget and just see what happened. Now, let's go back here. The cool thing, the reason why I'm even showing you this is because you can say, well, what if I protested my value and got it down to 195, which, by the way, there are thousands of protests that haven't been completed or won't be completed when the property tax bill is sent out. And there are also property tax rates that will get denied. It'll come up for a vote, and then those votes will get struck down. And so the tax assessor is going to have to send you a check in the mail. And so you can run some what if scenarios on tax value here, and or whatever other exemptions you might be applying for, and that way you can calculate your tax bill no matter your situation. So there you have it. I hope that helps a little bit. If you have any questions, or you want me to try and help you reduce your housing expenses any other way, I can help you. Or if you need to move, then we want to help you there. And if you have any questions, we're always happy to help you for free, no strings attached. It is our mission to help the folks right here in our own backyard, and it is truly a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.